Well, good morning, everybody, or good evening, wherever you are. I've just decided to make a small video. Once again, at the beginning of this video, I am highlighting I have a speech impediment due to neural dyslexia. Like most dyslexics, mine is one of the highest there is, affecting motory senses. It takes great concentration. At one point in my life, I couldn't even talk. And it took a lot of focus to be able to go through my mind and rewire that as a child. I won't go into my past too much of what I've been through, but what can I say? It was very difficult. Later in years, through transition, it became even more difficult. The lack of understanding of transgender people. I've seen on the news of lately in Australia regarding areas that cisgendered women don't wish to compete with cisgendered women or girls in their areas of sport. I might add, if you're on T blockers, then you're actually weaker with less testosterone than a cisgendered woman or girl, meaning child, that is transgender. With that stated itself, perhaps later in life, with muscle development and whatnot, a person transitioning may have a little bit of strength in muscle. A child, I doubt. But to be able to get that strength comes from testosterone, as cisgendered women do have testosterone. And cisgendered men, well, obviously have a lot. But a transgender woman does not. If anything, HRT for a woman that has fully transitioned, her muscle tone and everything fully transitions as well. I might add, it doesn't get the strength to fully use it. Some say, how do I get strength? I use Qi, which is exhausting, and I mostly tear ligaments, muscles, and break bones because my body can't handle it. I don't have any testosterone. My levels are so low, unreadable. That means I get very fatigued very easily. Needless to say, don't we all? A cisgendered woman going through life at a hormonal point goes through menopause. Well, a transgender woman lives with menopause. So we do have something in similar, although we still have no testosterone, if not a very minute amount, very less than a cisgendered woman. Estrogen levels are mostly lower than cisgendered women's. Those through transition, meaning those who are still transitioning, may have some higher levels, and they can cause what we call bubble stage or clouding of the mind until you have came through transition. Each human body is, how can I say, unique and different, no doubt. But we all have the same capability. Therefore, I guess cisgendered women would be able to use Qi or inner strength, just like everyone out there does. That moment of rage you get, or that moment of passion inside you when you get that strength and that adrenaline. Well, we all still have that. But what you want to name it is up to you in whatever country or belief you have. E, within the mind, as the Asians say, we call it the pineal gland. This is something I'm going on about a lot. While stuck here with broken bones, barely being able to go out, having another few years of cabin fever, I have decided in my life to use this area to enhance or at least focus my mind to be able to communicate and talk correctly without just going, anyways, no problem. So, do excuse my voice. I am still a smoker of cigarettes and I am quitting shortly. I am sure it will be a lot more higher and I am in full depression, so you will hear some lower tones in me. I'm only human, as aren't we all? So off the topic of why trans women can't compete, I disagree. On other topics of using one's own mind and heart and soul, we do it every day. It's within the emotions in our body. One thing I did learn through transition was that the amount of emotions whilst transitioning on estrogen did give me more insight into some other emotions, which made me more, not less. I didn't lose who I was. I expanded with that emotional growth, like we all get through our life and grow emotionally, as well as physically. Thus, mentally. Knowledge is the key. But if you're going to sit there every day and let the stresses of life get to you without utilizing your mind and emotions, then you're not going to grow. If a person, in a layman Australian terminology, wants to put a lot of hell on you, emotionally, mentally, or physically, you're going to go, okay, after a while, after it's been hit on you so much. Sometimes people can have so many different ways of being repressed so much, mental breakdowns, become submissive, or explode. It is a natural thing. It's part of our biological system, being human. Everything I do, I've been noticing out there that, well, not everything, but I've been noticing a lot of people out there are doing too. I have been contacted by people. I've been watching TV just like everybody else. But I take still frames of it and zoom in on people's eyes. To my astonishment, I'm not alone. I have these people's names. Some of the people you have seen on TV all the time. But that's in the area field what I'm investigating. Why the human eye changes. I believe people are using their pineal glands all the time, as we use our full mind. If you want to believe lies of people out there of how much of the human mind we use, go ahead. But it's already been pronounced in the world that that was a myth. Just like Mythbusters bust them all. So you use 100% of your brain. How much of it you want to use depends on what you think about. This is the truth. And there's no more to be said about that. In understanding this, knowing that I use my entire body and brain, well, allows me to go and have no doubt. No more repression. The things you were taught about as children, this is to the older generations, you were lied to just as much as me. I was caned and flogged to believe this. Thus, I went through my life believing it. That person's smarter than me. They use 32% or 40% of their brain. Well, it's a lie. I guess you, at this moment in time, feel like I did. Not happy about that. But it is true. I don't want to babble too much and get off topic. But with this understanding lets me look at, as we all like doing, history, geography, and ancient areas. The pyramids, India, China, even Australia. History is of those who conquered, and is what is written. But if you look hard enough, you'll see a lot of people there talking about lots of things. People say to me, do you believe in UFOs? Do you believe there's a moon or a sun and solar systems and thousands of planets? Yeah, obviously. Do I believe in back engineering and technology and all that? Yeah, probably. That isn't not new news to me. I, as a child, which most people don't realize, was one of those people that was a one of the ones of indifference, or as some pronounce it, of indifference. Meaning that I was one of them people that said, there's got to be more to this than just what's on the news or what people are saying. Live this way, go to bed now, Monday, Saturday, Sunday, every day of the week. Let me get that one out right. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Dyslexia is annoying, but in here I know what I'm trying to say still. It just takes great focus. So if everything you've learnt is mostly false science, and the rest of science is still just working it out, not to say that a lot of the science isn't real and medical, but it makes you question everything. And within questioning everything, a part of you just kind of clicks and goes, hang on a sec, and you look around. At this point in time, you are control of yourself. You're in control of what you want to see. People say, empty your cup and relearn. I like my cup and the information that's in it. Is it all correct? Maybe not. But a lot of it is, and it's information nevertheless. So if other people try to tell me what is and what is not, I can go, I already heard that one, already know that one, just like us all. Those who out there are looking at me right now going, it is news to you. Others out there have been fighting a long, long time. I stopped in my 20s for 20 years and went into standard life with a standard family. I was nearly a mayor of a town. I had my own computer company called Power Legacy. I was very successful in what I did. I used to work for a company above military pay grade, signing contracts of hushness. This is true. I lost my memory. My memory is back. Can I still say in these areas of fields of what I saw or did? No, I can't, because I signed a contract. But what I can do is tell you what I'm allowed to, and hope that some of you out there are actually listening to me. Lots of information I put on my Facebook is made from apps. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Instagram. Because if I was to put the full truth out there, everything would be taken down like it was. But my statement that is pinned to the top of the page stands. This area of information, I'm not on a contract for, to be hushed up. I haven't signed any contracts. Have I been tried to be stopped? Yes. There's been people sent to keep me down. It didn't work. Why? Because I don't have amnesia anymore, and I realize all my martial arts training, all my meditational areas that were accelerated, I might add, due to my operations. 57 operations and procedures, died 4 times on the table and brought back, and a near-death experience only a year ago. My mind fired up. I had a full mental breakdown. As the doctors have indicated to me, when you have a full mental breakdown, you have a reboot. Therefore, when I was rebooted, as they say, the human brain is a computer, the most highest computer in the world, a quantum computer, I was refired up. Thus looking around with my full mind's memory, and it is quite strong, no doubt. But in areas I am still shaky, because I'm still healing. I'm still under great pain. I was hit by a car when I was younger in my teens. I think I was 14, 15. A mayor of a different town came back from a pub, 80 kilometers per hour, and went through me. It's why I lean to one side normally, because my neck was fractured. My back was fractured in 2 vertebrae. One specific vertebrae cannot be repaired. I will lose the capability of walking. After my GRS with massive nerve damage and nearly 2 years laying in a bed, this very bed I'm in right here, I might add, looking at dots on a roof, on and off, travelling back and forth, trying to save my own life, having doctors look at me going, "You have 4 days to live." An operation. I was saved by my own valor, by researching urology of what they did to me. No, I did not have a normal surgery. Mine was a genetic reconstruction from Dr. Sapon. He only does standard surgeries now for a reason. Not many of them girls are alive. Some of them far back on my Facebook were pronounced. May they rest in peace. It's why I still fight, as many of them held me on my shoulder and said, "If anyone can do this, Tris, you can." With a tear in my eye, I said, "Please don't." They're no longer here. Transition is not an easy thing. Why? Because the world doesn't understand the lack of knowledge. A simple gesture, or as I heard a parliament member say only the other day on Australian news, if they want to turn themselves from boys to girls or whatever they want to do. Girls turn themselves to boys too. And I might add, more females to male than male to female in the world, actually. So, there's some little information for the rest of the world. Australia is a strong country. We have strong morals. This is what makes us. I'm Australian 8th generation. My grandfather fought in the war. So did his before and his before and his before. I was the only member of the family of generations not to join the military due to asthma. So I worked for private companies. The knowledge I have is very real. I'm, at this moment in time, very grateful for those who have stepped forward from all around the world bringing information to me. A lot of this information I cannot release, but it is very real. But once again, that's for the future. What I'm working with within myself and the incident that occurred with me whilst under meditation, using martial arts to blank out pain. Even I am surprised at, and I'm still researching what happened to me. I might add I had amnesia for 2 years after this event, and all my photos and videos were ripped down. All I have is one black and white photo, and several people holding the videos in full colors for me that are in secret. Thank you to these people. Please stand strong. At this moment in time, my foot will take a great deal of money to repair, and the public system is making me wait. On the 4th, I will undergo my private, specialist that is evaluating how to repair my foot and how much it will cost me. When it will be repaired would depend on them answers. Can I still walk on my foot? Yes. Can I walk far? No. Thus, there is a walking cane with me for life until this is repaired. But it will not, and I will not let it hold me back. In the not near to future, in a few weeks, I will be traveling abroad to destinations. I have several destinations. Some are in islands, some are in India, some are on other parts of the world. These areas have been highlighted to me. I've been told that people that can use their pineal gland and produce their own energy, thus matter to energy, can do certain things that was lost a long time ago. Can I sit here and do it now? No, I cannot. I'm exhausted mentally and emotionally. Do I know how to get myself to health to do that again? Yes, I do. So I will be traveling, and I will be putting videos up at these places, and I will be announcing this on my own Facebook. I am a little upset with many martial arts around the world after Bruce Lee himself tried to teach the world and himself undertook many battles to show us how to use the body And he said, watch. If you've ever watched the movie where Bruce Lee broke the great big blocks of ice, he was using chi force hits, meaning he was using the inner strength of his mind to flow the energy through the muscle to break this. On the last ice block, he fatigued himself and broke his hand. Thus, he was told not to push himself too far, for we're all mortal. Have I ever pushed myself? Yes. I also worked as a constructional engineer once and built my own home. A home that you might have recently sold that I went back and repaired. Well, whilst building that house many years ago, a main beam support came down. I grabbed the support beam and held it with my right arm and held it the whole house. With my left hand reached over and grabbed another support beam that was just in the reach and supported that beam. I tore the tendon out of my arm. To this day, this arm still leans down more than one. It is painful. For 6 months I was in a sling holding my youngest son of mere 1 year of age in my left hand. Them days are long gone and long lost, sadly. I love all my children, although the world has affected them as well, and depression, and what happened with my transition from my first wife, not understanding. The government supported her because I was transgender. My children have come of age where they can do what they wish. My oldest son, at this moment in time, is seeking psychiatry for what he tried to do to me, and hopefully has learnt a vast lesson that you cannot steal all my items or hold me at gunpoint to do what I do. It is within your own body and your own mind and dedication. You don't need an entire life of martial arts to sit there, close your eyes and meditate and clear your mind if it takes you a day or half a day. It is up to you. The circumstances of how this happened was, excuse me, I'm having many people message me, was undertaking a great deal of pain. I believe that at this moment in time, from having so much physiological pain and emotional pain, whilst in a meditational state, I asked myself to release myself. To my astonishment, I guess I nearly did. Someone else that was there yelled out my name and broke my actual meditation. That in itself, being brought out of a trance so savagely, I lost my memory. So please, if you are to meditate, put yourself in a safe area with people around you that understand. Do not yell. Do not break a person's meditational state. This is very serious. But in that itself, I hope you know how to do it, because you know more than most monks know now. Although you might not be able to do every move, you can do what counts. I will add to this, from the 15,000 witches that were burned in England after they were beheaded and then burned, that this was one of the most tragic things that has ever happened. For every person they burnt was a person using their pineal gland, as we all have. Once you use your pineal gland and go to an art or a craft, meaning start using crystals, start reading tarot cards, or maybe start enhancing your mind by unlocking your own memories and using your mind's full extent, because you are capable of using your mind's full extent, because you use it every day, the whole thing. It just fires up more. You are known as a witch. If you use it for your own memories and whatnot, you define. Would you call me a witch? I guess so. Are witches defined? Sorry about my pronunciation. Defined. From female or male? No, they are not. Witches are both male and female. The word witch means craft. One that is crafting with their mind. So there is another enlightenment for everybody's understanding. So I guess half the planet are witches. The other half, I guess, are just in denial, walking around. It's Friday, drink time, morning, cup of tea time, work, fatigued. The weekend is the weekend. We are not slaves. We may be bound to our society we have made, and we are trying as a democracy to improve this society. But there is a lot more to it. Some say the Matrix. Well, the Matrix to me is a museum. The museum we live in, and those who know outside of that know this. Some say they hear and see spirits and this and that and different verses and different events. Things, cars going in corners disappear on film. No one knows why. I don't know. Maybe it was the Philadelphia experiment. Maybe it was time itself. Maybe it's the black hole that's in the center of our galaxy. Maybe it's the black hole passing through us. Maybe, just maybe, it's machinery or whatever else from the past or the future or the present. There is so much stuff out there. The mind boggles. Is it all real? Yeah, it is. Does it stop you having to go to the toilet or stop you having to try to sit up straight with pain in your back? No, it doesn't. But at one time in India, people used to come up to transgenders to touch their hands. And in hieroglyphs, if I've pronounced that correctly, their hands were glowing. Why? They said that we were more knowledgeable in the awareness. I believe this is because we come from one spectrum to another. Male to female, female to male. It gives you just a little bit more insight on both sides. It does not mean cisgender people cannot do this. They have a pineal gland as well. It's just a matter of stopping their chip off the shoulder, as we all say, and going, hey, maybe I might have a look at this. Give this a go. Maybe there's something to this. That's about all I can say regarding it currently. I am fatigued and already getting tired. So, thank you for listening to me. And do please remember, even your sister, your mother, your brother, your lover, don't let them hold you back. If anything, go forward and have heart for them and try to teach them. At least be a little bit more open. Thank you for everyone listening.